Hey everyone, tired of fast food that's never like the picture and always boring? It's time to spice things up, literally. Make this Thai shrimp meal for the price of 3 cheeseburgers. Hello, and today we'll be making a Thai shrimp, a Laotian fried noodle, and a Polynesian coleslaw. Let's start by getting some water ready for the noodles. I've got some just started on the stove with salt. Now it does take salt for the rice pasta, but not near as much salt as you would use for a typical wheat pasta that you might use every day. But it still does need a little bit of salt. Let me turn that on and get that started. Be right back. Next, let's go ahead and get started on the slaw and have that out of the way. This is an extremely fast dish. We'll be using a cabbage and carrot only. This is very traditional in the islands. They use it with a macaroni salad as well, but it's not common to be using a lot of different vegetables in a slaw from the islands. Now, I have a little tool here, a julienne tool, that I've taken and made some carrot strips, a little julienne, and this is a really, really fun little tool. But if you don't have it, there's another way, just by using a vegetable parer and taking it and just slicing a lot of strips that are thin, and then taking these strips and cutting them into smaller portions. And it may not be quite as elegant, but it certainly works, and for a coleslaw it adds some color and a little bit of bite as well. This is the Tropics of Polynesia mix. It has a little sugar, but primarily it has coconut milk and dehydrated pineapple juice, orange juice. It has a real delightful flavor that's got a little bite to it, a little sweet to it, and a little tropical notes from the citrus and the pineapple and coconut. It's really a nice mix for many things associated with the islands and even some parts of Southeast Asia. I'm going to be adding a little bit of red wine vinegar. Now this is kind of a sweet sour slaw, but we don't need very much sour. I'm using red wine, as I said, red wine vinegar, and I'm going to be adding the Tropics of Polynesia, and I want a good flavor on that. Some people don't put quite as much as I do, but I really like that blend that comes from Spice Road, and it makes a real nice dish. I'm going to add the carrot in there, get it out of the way off of my board, and with the cabbage, I'm going to go ahead and slice that quite thin. I hope you have seen our knife technique videos. There's 4 of them. Check those out on our tube. If you haven't seen them, it'll take you right from how to select a knife clear to how you can look like you're in a Benihana commercial. So I'm just going to go ahead and take care of this, and if you need some help learning how to use your knife at home, check out our videos. In that goes. Now what I want to do is temper this just a little bit with just the vinegar. I want that flavor to blend, to be able to be extracted from the spices, but also to be imparted into the other vegetable, to be transferred into that. And then at the very end, we'll use a little mayonnaise to make it a true slaw. Okay, our water is boiling. I'm going to be using a Thai style flat rice noodle. This is for stir frying. There are other rice noodles that are used all through the Southeast Asian area. They use wheat noodles as well, but this is a rice noodle. It's more translucent and has a lighter texture to it, obviously. Now, with rice, because it doesn't have as much gluten in it, well, it has actually no gluten, but it has very little protein in it to hold it together, you have to be very careful when we're cooking that. I have found with this brand, what I do is I put it in boiling water, stir it a little bit, and then turn the heat down almost all the way down and just set my timer for 5 minutes. Okay, while we're waiting for the noodle to boil and finish off, what we're going to be doing is frying that actually with some egg and a spice called Laotian feels. We'll also be cooking some shrimp, and we're going to cook it Thai style, or at least one style. We'll be using Welcome to Thailand blend. This has turmeric and soy sauce and ginger and garlic and a few other kind of secret things that we put in that's typical of the area. It's quite delightful. It does have some heat, it has some character, but we're going to be using it kind of non-standard. Instead of using it with a sauce, we're going to glaze the shrimp, and it actually comes up with a nice little crystalline caramelized coating on that. We'll be right back. Okay, it's time to get ready to cook the noodles and the shrimp. But because we want to eat the shrimp right off of the stove, I'm going to finish up the slaw now. I'm going to give this another quick toss first, and then add the actual mayonnaise, and it only takes a little bit. The mayonnaise is kind of scarce. A lot of things are scarce in the islands, and so there's a tendency to use just enough and not overdo things a lot. And as you can see, that doesn't take very much to start encapsulating that, but we have this really nice salad that's going to go well with our hot dishes. This will be a little something cool on the plate. Okay, I'm going to start the noodles. It'll take noodles and egg, and again, we'll be using the Laotian Field Blend. The Laotian Field Blend is a real delight. It capitalizes on balance. As the spices are toasted together, the garlic and ginger especially, gives a very unique flavor and wafts a wonderful smell. And this will be imparted into the noodles and the egg. Now, the noodle dish is a fried noodle dish, so I'll be using a little bit of oil and then actually toasting the spice first. I mentioned a moment ago how the real genius of the Laotian blend is the balance between the garlic and ginger, and it has just a tiny bit of turmeric in it. And as those toast together first in the pan, before we put any product, before we put any food stuff in it, you'll notice how it goes from the nice light color to a nice light brown color. And it'll waft up this smell that's just unmistakable. It's a real delight. Now, this garlic ginger mixture is used a lot in the Orient, and in fact in China there's areas where garlic ginger is actually used as one word. I'm adding a little bit of oil now, and remember we're frying noodles as well as eggs, so it does take a little bit of oil. And I'm going to be toasting this spice. You can see how it's starting to turn a light brown. Well, that's just because of the oil starting to saturate. In a moment, though, you'll see how it's starting to turn a darker brown. And we want to be real careful on this toast. If we have the skillet too hot, we lose the opportunity of having that just right. Oh, it's starting to smell just right. Oh, that smell is just amazing as this toasts to a lighter brown color. You probably can't see it from there perhaps, but as this toasts, there's a delightful smell that comes off and wafts off, and we're going to be putting the noodles in just in time. And right now is the time. And we're going to let those actually fry for a little bit. Meanwhile, we're going to get ready to do the shrimp as well. I'm going to have this on basically a medium-high heat. I want this to get hot, and this is a little counter to traditional way of preparing the shrimp. But what I'm going to be doing is putting it in, and rather than stirring it a lot, let it sit a little bit and actually about halfway cook, and then turn that, and then we're going to add the spice, and it will caramelize the spice blend onto the shrimp. I'm trying to be a little careful and make sure that everything is in a single layer with the shrimp. Now, we certainly don't want to overdo the shrimp, so once it starts getting pink on the one side, we're going to flip that and then add our Thai spice. I'm going to add some egg to our noodle as well now. You may be able to see I'm not scrambling the egg, I'm simply breaking up the yolk and allowing that to cook. This is typical of a home-style noodle. You can see that they're starting to turn pink, but I haven't continued to saute them. I'm letting them cook on one side, and then I will be very careful in trying to make sure that I flip all of them over when I add the spice. Now, some grandmothers obviously cook the rice noodles with other vegetables, pieces of meat, cooked pork, diced chicken. This is a very plain, straight up, because I want something that complements the shrimp and not something that detracts from that centerpiece that I want on my meal. The egg is very prominent, but the noodle also has a nice char on it as well, because we haven't stirred and stirred and stirred. We let it give an opportunity to actually fry. And now I'm going to add the Thai spice. And just like the noodles, I'm going to give it an opportunity to actually caramelize and come up with that nice crystal glaze. Okay, I'm actually ready to start plating up. Oh, that smells so good. I'm just going to finish plating some of this shrimp. I've got a few extra. This is maybe a little bit more than a full serving, but it's here. I'm going to eat it. With the fried noodle and egg, the Thai shrimp that's been glazed, and a little coleslaw, and we've got another fine meal. Thank you for joining us here at Spice Road Designers, where we are continuing to bring you our Happier Meal Deal segments. Good day.